Millions of people cross the border from their homes in Ukraine into neighboring Poland. A lot of them are also dealing with injuries from the war, and they're trying to escape. Those refugees have become some of the most resilient people ever known, but they need us and the countless humanitarian heroes around the world, like preventive cardiologist Dr. Danielle Belardo, who courageously traveled to the Ukraine-Poland border and volunteered by providing medical aid to fleeing refugees. Joining us now for more on her trip is our ABC News humanitarian hero, Dr. Danielle Belardo. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kira, for having me.
Well, you traveled with the organization Rescuers Without Borders. What was the first thing you did once you landed?
So when we landed, the first thing we did was we actually went to the medical camp where we went to assess and see how much medications they had, what we were missing, and kind of get the groundwork before we ended up starting our first shift. I brought one of my friends from medical school with me, who's also a cardiologist, and we covered the night shift for the week at the border.
So tell me what moved you the most.
So probably one of the most incredible experiences that we had there is, the Ukrainian people as a whole are just so resilient. They're so strong. They're so brave. But we had the opportunity to come to our medical tent, 2 90-year-old Holocaust survivors. And for them, to meet them and to get to care for them was such an honor. They had lived in Eastern Ukraine for almost their entire lives, and they've already survived the terrors of the Holocaust when they were younger. And so to see them and meet them, they were so gracious, they were so appreciative, they were so kind, they were so caring and loving and just filled with so much positivity. It really put a lot of perspective on the situation.
Oh, yeah. You just think of what a Holocaust survivor has been through, and you talk about some of the most resilient people in the entire world. And now here they are having to go through another conflict. It's not fair. So how were you able to, you do preventive cardiology. So how were you able to help these folks that might be concerned about not just injuries that they had received making that trek to cross the border, but just maybe concerns they might have, what they've experienced up to this point with the stress and the heavy loads and lack of water and food. How were you able to assist them from a preventive angle?
Yeah, so as a cardiologist, I felt like myself and my other friend who's a cardiologist were pretty well equipped to be at the border, considering how much time we both spend doing critical care, ICU. And then when we got there, we realized that we were seeing a wide variety of different circumstances. A lot of what the individuals needed was a lot of comfort, and it was ranging from just, we spent a lot of time with translators helping patients to just, navigate their next steps, some emotional support. And then we saw everything from that ranging to, atrial fibrillation with rapid ventricular response or hypertensive urgency, because the individuals going across the Ukraine to Poland border, a lot of them haven't had access to their medications for days. Some of them were coming from places like Mariupol, where they had lost all of their family members. They had one bag with them. Many of them were cold. We had some patients that were hypothermic. So we saw a really wide variety of circumstances, but most important for sure was just providing reassurance. And we just felt there was so much bravery, so much kindness, and just so much inspiration from every woman, child, elderly person who had crossed that border.
And you hope on planning to return back to the Ukraine-Poland border next month. What do you hope to accomplish on that trip? What will you be bringing for the refugees?
So when we got there, we helped create infrastructure for Rescuers Without Borders. We put a call out on social media to any volunteers that were interested. We had over 300, I had over 300 nurses and doctors contact me to volunteer. And so then when I come back, I'm going to just continue to help the amazing SSF team with some of that infrastructure. And depending on what the amount of patients that are going across the border, whether it's less or or whether our resources could be used otherwise. Now, currently, SSF is doing a great job triaging extra medical supplies they're delivering into Ukraine. So there's a lot still to be done, and there's a lot of people still to help, and they are so inspirational and brave and strong. And so we are lucky as doctors and nurses to get to care for them and meet them during this time.
Dr. Danielle Belardo, thank you so much for being a humanitarian hero, and keep us posted on your next trip for sure.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.